What's your sense of things going into this big game, J.K. Simmons? What's your sense of Ohio State, Michigan?
Well, as always, I am reluctant to be too optimistic because it is the big game.
Mm-hmm.
It is the big rivalry game. You know, my other big rivalry that I care about was the Brawl of the Wild, which took place this past Saturday, University of Montana versus Montana State.
I love that phrase.
I actually graduated from University of Montana. As is often the case in rivalry games, you know, Montana State was the better team coming into the game, and the University of Montana just absolutely blew them off the field. I mean, the defense was like a brick wall. So, you know, I mean, in a way, I would like to say, come on, it's going to be, 62-0 Buckeyes, because I think we have a phenomenal team this year, and I think our defense has really come around the last half of the season. But I'm going to be very cautiously optimistic and say, it'll be a hard-fought rivalry game on hostile turf, and, we'll only win by a couple of touchdowns.
So, because Michigan does have something different this time around than any of the last times that they have faced, your team in the last 15 years, or 17 years, right? And the difference is, in my estimation, a defensive coordinator who's not going to do the same damn thing over and over again and say, try and beat us. And then when you try and then you're beaten 5, 6, 7 straight possessions, just keep doing it. I honestly think that Michigan has a better plan and has the run game to maybe keep your horses off the field, to use a Big Sky phrase, So
no, I absolutely agree. A better plan and better personnel, I think, on both sides of the ball. So. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I mean, I feel like the big brother talking to the little brother now, which applies, I guess, in a variety of ways. I mean, I'm not saying this. I'm not really saying this, but in a way, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, even for an Ohio State fan, for the team up north to eventually win a game again, because this rivalry has become. Let's face it, pretty sad for the last 15-plus years.
Here's what you're doing. You're doing, J.K. Simmons. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're laying the tracks of the loss being actually good for the rivalry. Yeah, it's good that you finally draw blood once in a while, and as if you don't know that even with this remarkable stretch run, Michigan still leads the all-time series by 4 games, 6 games, my bad. I'm even shorting all that. How cyclical this is. You know how it can be cyclical.
Cyclical,
you know that.
Yeah, in terms of, the first 30 years of this was like Goliath beating up on a little overgrown cowtown college team. I mean, when this rivalry began, it was decidedly one-sided, and the Wolverines were just looking for somebody to beat up on.
Right. And then Woody Hayes comes along, and then Michigan takes somebody from his staff, and that's when the 10-year Woody Bo war hits. And then towards the end of the Bo era, there's when Earl Bruce gets canned, and then John Cooper comes in, and that's when Michigan was continually beating them by like a drum. And then the aforementioned Jim Tressel comes in, things begin to flip. And then, now things are totally one-sided in the other direction. I think that's a fair assessment of the history of this.
It is a very fair assessment. And, for me, of course, my lifetime, the rivalry, in my awareness, began with Woody Hayes. So that's, that's the sort of, what's that?
Yeah, I guess.
That's going on 70 years now that we're talking about the sort of, quote-unquote, modern era of the rivalry.
See, but you're not allowed to say, if Michigan wins, that's good for the rivalry. You're not allowed to say that. That is not allowed to say.
I'm not even allowed to say the name of that team up north.
Oh, God. Well, I guess so when you're spelling your name this week, it's Sixxons. Is that how you spell with 2 red X's in the middle of your name? You're not one of those, are you, JK?
You're
not one of those, are you?
No, I don't do the X thing too much. I either refer to them as TTUN
Yes, that school up north. Yep, yeah, the team up north. Okay.
Or one of the Lang brothers on my Lang Brothers Buckeye chain with my buddy and his three brothers who are OSU alumni. We also routinely refer to them as simply stupid helmets.
Stupid helmets, he says. Okay, that sounds really, really mature for an Academy Award winner, JK.
The Lang Brothers text chain. I mean, we really should fold you in on that.
Oh, my. Yeah, fold me in. Unsubscribe, JK. Unsubscribe in advance.
On,
yeah, I'll get in on that. JK Sixons here on the Rich Eisen Show on this big week. Okay, so where are you watching the game? What is your scenario for Saturday?
I will be locked in the master bedroom at our place in LA. We're bi-coastal again. So, but currently in California.
Okay, so you're locked now. Now, do you need
to? By the way, as is almost always the case, sometimes of necessity, sometimes out of choice, I almost never watch the game live because, I mean, any Ohio State game, but especially against TTUN because I just can't take it. I can't deal with the 3-minute commercial break.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I generally start it. If my schedule is my own, I'll start it like an hour and a half late, so that by the end of the game I'm almost caught up to real time.
You are, by the way,
off, and
yeah, you got to turn your phone off, and I know you're definitely not on social media, that's for sure. So
no,
I know that. So I don't blame you either. Sometimes those commercial breaks are so long. Halftime is 45 minutes long because the bands have to get out there, and the bands are more important to you than me. And so
because we have the best damn let's face it.
You with the bands, man, and the whole Script Ohio, because I love the Script Ohio stuff because for some reason Ohio State fans want to just prove to the world they really can spell. You know what I mean? If we spot you the four letters, you can actually dot the right one. You want to prove that one.
Well played.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. This is fun. Hey, J.K. Simmons, I would say good luck this weekend, but I don't mean it at all. And I think you probably feel the same way, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
I do feel very much the same way. I will, in a horribly condescending way, say good luck anyway, because I think you guys are still the little brother, and we're still going to smack you around.
Okay. Let's put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that. We shall revisit. We shall revisit.
Yes, we shall. Annually, I hope, if not more so.
Me too. Congrats on the films, and thanks for the call, JK.
All right. Thank you, man.
You got it. JK Simmons, which is spelled with 2 X's this week, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.